Amazon CEO Abhiraj Bahel told CNBC-TV18 that it could be available across all marketplaces. Private equity firm Blackstone holds preliminary discussions with Walt Disney to acquire a stake in its Indian arm, Reuters reported. Blackstone is the latest suitor for Disney's assets in the Indian market. AMD plans to buy an artificial intelligence startup called Nod.ai as part of an effort to bolster its software capabilities in its race to catch rival chipmaker Nvidia. Advanced Micro Devices plans to invest heavily in the critical software necessary for the company's advanced AI chips.
Those are the headlines that we're tracking for you today on Startup Street. In what's brewing, supply chain finance platform KredX is looking to create a 4,000 crore rupee corpus to serve the capital requirements of businesses by the end of this financial year by forging partnerships with several major banks and financial institutions. Now, with this, the company says it is doubling the initial plan and vision set forth for the festive season of 2023. To talk about this and the expectations from the next few months, joining me now is Manish Kumar, the CEO and co-founder at KredX. Manish, thanks very much for your time here on CNBC-TV18. If you could start by telling us what is giving you this optimism to double your planned corpus to meet the working capital requirements of businesses ahead of the festive season.
We got a lot of requests from our existing client to give us a higher limit. Because of that, we initially allocated 2,000 crore, which we are now increasing it to 4,000 crore. And we are partnering with various banks and financial institutions to liquidate this additional 2,000 crore. And we are very optimistic that we are going to surpass even the 4,000 crore target that we have set for us.
So, this 4,000 crores you're looking to disburse from now until the end of the financial year. Since the festive season is sort of already started, how much have you already disbursed?
So we have already put a target for 2,000 crore, out of which we have almost already disbursed 90% of that target so far. And we are expecting, because we have already surpassed the 90%, we have allocated another 2,000 crore, which we are expecting to do it. Though we have put the target till financial year end, we are hoping that we'll have this before this calendar year itself.
Manish, what are these partnerships that you're forming? ICICI Bank and MasterCard are two of the ones that we know of, but what other banks and FIs are you partnering with, and what should we expect on that front?
So MasterCard and ICICI is definitely two partnerships that we have already announced, and it's already we are taking this much higher. Apart from that, we are also meeting with 4 to 5 more major banks in India, whom we are targeting, and some very, very large NBFCs, which are potentially very important NBFCs as per RBI, whom also we are partnering with in this partnership.
You said you almost dispersed 90% of your initial target because of the demand. Usually during the festive season, we see an uptick for consumer durables, apparels, those businesses. Are there specific areas, segments where you're seeing more demand than the rest? And, how would you compare the demand that you're seeing in this festive season compared to what you've seen in the last few years?
Yes, generally we are seeing a more uptick in mostly the manufacturing, consumer durables, as you mentioned. That part, fashion is definitely another part which is there. A lot of enablers, which is mostly the logistics services that they provide, mobiles. These are basically where we are seeing a larger intake. So as compared to last year, it is pretty much a similar kind of uptake, but this year is much larger or much bigger because I think maybe there will be some bit of COVID that was going on last year, but this time we are seeing a much higher intake in terms of what it is. Typically, festivals are always long, but this year is definitely much.
And Manish, geography-wise, are there any trends? I mean, certain cities or segments that are seeing more demand for working capital from businesses than the others?
Yes, as I said, these sectors are basically cluster specific, as means that there are, for example, fashion clusters are somewhere in, some part in North India and some part in South India. So there are these clusters. Similarly to manufacturing also, especially these consumer durables are mostly coming from South India. So there are clusters, but these clusters are mostly because of different kind of industries which are there in these clusters. But yes, it's more specific to few clusters in the entire India.
If I may step away from, this 4,000 crore corpus itself, you recently got the final approval from IFSCA to facilitate global trade for businesses of India in GIFT City. How much have you executed in export financing so far in the month since, and what's your target for the year there?
So we have already disbursed so far around $300 million. And we are targeting that we will be in this financial year with upward of $1 billion so far. That's what we are actually the first one to get the commercially go live from IFSCA in Gift City. And the entire program is running very fine. In fact, we are getting a lot of support from exporters on that platform too.
And finally, Manish, if you could give us a sense overall of how much working capital did you disburse last year? What will FY24 look like, both in terms of volume and value of disbursements for MSMEs that you're looking to make?
So this is, we generally don't disclose the full numbers for the FI financial year, but I can give you the sense of it. This year is already, we have done 3x more than what we have done last year, and it's only 6 months that has gone. So we are expecting that this year we are going to end at least 4 to 5x more than what we have done the last year.
Manish, somewhere I remember reading that you had disbursed about 1,500 crores last year, in working capital. Is that the right number?
That's 1,500 crores during the festival season. Yes, and this time the initial 2,000 crore we allocated, 90% of that is already we have disbursed.
All right, Manish, we'll leave it at that. Thanks very much for joining us and telling us about your plans for this festive season ahead. We wish you the best, and thanks very much for your time here.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Ritu. Have a great day.
Moving on, Indian handloom ethical clothing brand Dressfolk recently raised 3.3 crores in its seed round of funding by All-In Capital. Founded in 2017, Dressfolk currently works with over 600 weavers and 120 artisans across 6 states in India. It is also catering to customers globally. To tell us how Dressfolk is bringing Indian handloom back in vogue, joining me now is its founder and CEO, Nitin Mehrotra. Nitin, welcome to Startup Street. Dressfolk's mission is to modernize traditional Indian weaves while empowering the local artisans community. So first, talk to us about your business model. What is the kind of impact you've been able to create in the lives of the artisans that you're working with?
Hi, Shruti. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to share Dressfolk's story here on CNBC. Dressfolk, as you rightly said, it's an ethical fashion brand that started with the idea of modernizing India's handlooms and bring it in an avatar that is relevant to today's consumer. Today, we are working with about 720 artisans and weavers across 6 states, and we take pride in the fact that we've been able to increase their annual earnings by over 150% in the last couple of years. To just give you an example on how these artisans are based,
Sure.
These are mostly based in small geographies. One of the clusters that we very vigorously work with, it's in Bengal with a small village of 5,000 people. To give you a context on how small this is, they have heard about COVID, but they have not witnessed this because it never reached that village. And with this round of funding, we are betting heavily on expanding an artisan network and bringing that impact to the ground level.
Okay. All right. You also claim that you design and co-produce all your garments with the artisan community from scratch. If you could elaborate on your offerings, your product portfolio, and how are your offerings unique? What sets them apart from competition?
Sure. So currently in the market, we have 3 buckets. Firstly, high-end designers who make good products, but they are out of reach for most of the people. Then we have mass players who use a lot of polyesters and often they copy designs from other brands. And lastly, we have players who are trying to revive the crafts, but what they are doing is simply curating what is available in the market, and they just bring it in the on the platform for the consumers. At Dressfolk, everything that we make, we design and co-create with the help of our artisans. We have all the designs are proprietary and they are only made using natural fibers. Now there are 3 yarns that exist in nature: cotton, linen, and silk. Rest everything is man-made, and we use only these 3 yarns, and every product is hand-woven. So that's one of the major differentiators. And everything that is available under the ambit of saris, let's say if you're looking to go for any occasion and you need anything that needs to be done on that sari with respect to the blouse or the underskirt or a fall, that is all available at Dressfolk in just a matter of a click of a button.
Okay. All right. Now, Nitin, with the onset of the festive season, what kind of demand are you currently seeing? Also, if you could take us through your current business growth numbers and what is the road to profitability looking like?
Sure. So last fiscal, we grew by 250%.
Okay.
This year, we are registering a very good growth. We've crossed the last year's numbers already till now. And because of the festive season and with this new funding, we are expanding our product portfolio, bringing saris for the festive season. We just launched a collection last week, which focuses on the upcoming Diwali and the wedding season. It is made using Chanderi and Maheshwar fabrics from these clusters, which are native to Madhya Pradesh in India. And that's what our goal is, to bring India's different handlooms from different states to the consumers in an avatar that would appeal to them, which is relevant to them.
Okay, and the kind, like I mentioned, the festive season is currently on. What numbers are you seeing? Can you tell us what's in demand? What are people looking for?
So in the festive season, in the last 1 month, we've seen that a lot more people are ordering the blouses. At Dressfolk, we offer blouses which goes with Dressfolk sarees, but also for the sarees which are more classic and which already exist in a customer's wardrobe. So they don't need to get something specifically from Dressfolk in terms of a saree if they want to buy just a blouse. So we've seen a very heavy uptick in the number of blouses that customers are buying these days.
Okay. Nitin, you're primarily a D2C brand. With the recent funds raised, like you mentioned, you plan to strengthen your product portfolio. You want to expand distribution channels as well and expand the team. If you could elaborate on all of these plans and, the new offerings that are in store.
Sure. We are very happy to have found right partners in our investors. They are very supportive and they understood our vision. And now with the new funding, the goal is to expand into more crafts, bring products which would appeal to customers, all the use case scenarios, sarees that they can wear in a casual occasion or in a festive occasion or even in formal occasions. We've started with sarees, but Dressfolk will evolve into a women's ethnic wear brand. We are working on a couple of new product lines which will be launched in the coming months, primarily with respect to ethnic salwar suits.
Okay. All right. Also, Nitin, you've got an offline presence also in about 12 stores in the metros currently. So talk to us about your expansion plans as well as offline goes, and what formats are you looking at?
Sure. Including offline definitely helps in building customer awareness and trust. We are working very aggressively on expanding our offline footprint. As you rightly said, we are currently working with 12 offline stores. These are multi-brand outlets and concept stores across different cities. We are working very aggressively on getting onboarded on more stores. We are also now started to work with marketplaces, and in the coming months, Dressfolk will be available across all major marketplaces. Currently, we are majorly direct to consumers. About 80% of our sales comes through our own website.
Okay. Also, can you throw some light on your global expansion plans? What market are currently in, and what is the kind of impact you want to create there?
Sure. India has such a rich legacy of textile crafts, and consumers globally, they just love them. It's sad that it's not been available in an avatar that would appeal to today's consumers. Dressfolk is just plugging in that gap. We currently have customers in about 20 countries who have ordered from the Dressfolk website, and I should tell you that we've not done any advertising or marketing internationally yet. These are all organic orders, and the growth actually is seen in our repeat customer rate. We have a very strong repeat customer rate, and the feedback from the customers is absolutely phenomenal.
Okay, you just mentioned that you've not spent on much on marketing yet. So what will be your marketing strategy going forward? How do you plan to make Dressfolk a household brand?
Right. The goal with Dressfolk is to what we're looking to do is build the most desirable destination for luxurious and high quality Indian handlooms that caters to the mindfully fashionable consumer. We want to make Dressfolk a household name. What we are doing for this is increasing our digital footprint in terms of building more content, getting more brand awareness, and also expanding our offline footprint in terms of events, pop-ups, and exhibitions for where the customers actually come and they can check the products, understand what is the difference between a handloom or a machine-made fabric. Okay. And that has we've started to see results in the last couple of months in that arena.
Okay, one final question before I let you go. You're in a fiercely competitive segment. How competitively are you priced, and how do you view competition?
Sure. So again, you rightly said that fashion is a competitive space. With respect to handlooms, there are mostly good products are available only at high-end designers, where the price point starts with north of 25,000 rupees. At Dressfolk, most of the products, they are available in the price range of, for sarees, it's between 10,000 to 10,000, and for ready-made blouses, it's between 2,500 to 4,000. At the quality that we offer, the fit that we offer, and because as I said that these are natural yarns and handwoven by the artisans, very few players are catering in this price point, and Dressfolk has an advantage with respect to the experience that we offer to our customers.
All right, then we've completely run out of time, but many thanks for joining us today on Startup Street, and we wish you the very best for all your growth plans.
Thank you, Shruti. Have a good day. Bye.
Well, with that, it's time for us to head into a short break. Coming up, SaaS company SuperOps.ai closes its Series B funding. We tell you all about this startup and this funding round right after this short break. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Startup Street. Chennai-based SaaS startup SuperOps.ai has closed its Series B funding at $12.4 million. The round was led by Addition and March Capital, while the company's existing investors, Matrix Partners, also participated in it. So who's behind Chennai's latest big-ticket SaaS startup, and where will its funds be deployed? CNBC-TV18's Dude Sanit checks in to find out. Take a look.
It's been 3 years since former Freshworks head of marketing, Arvind Parthiban, left the company to begin his own SaaS startup. Today, his company SuperOps.ai has raised its second round of funding since 2020. The self-professed backbencher who began his SaaS career with a 10-year stint at Zoho Corp has reported growth of 3.5x and hopes to hit 6x by the end of the year.
We launched our product 18 months back, and already we have crossed more than 500 customers. And the growth, we actually kind of set up an internal goal where we didn't actually do that. We said, let's take an audacious goal and try to do it.
SuperOps Series B round takes the startup's total fundraise to about $29.4 million in the 3 years it's been around. But what truly makes the latest round of capital infusion significant is that it comes on the back of a 300% customer growth, and at a time where the SaaS and startup ecosystem faces its most challenging phase yet. So what does SuperOps do? In simple terms, it equips small and medium-sized companies that service the IT needs of various businesses. This managed service provider, or MSP market, is valued at about $280 billion, but has not seen much innovation over the years. While SuperOps aims to offer a unified platform for multiple tools to players in this space, its AI interface has resulted in a predictive intelligence layer that helps preempt IT infrastructure-related challenges before they occur. Today, 60% of its customers are from the US, UK, and Australia. The startup will expand in Latin America and Europe starting 2024.
The way we are looking at it is to also expand the partner channels. Like most of the Latin America, European markets, language is a big barrier. Not just localization as a translating the product, you need partners, resellers, local support to take care of the customers.
The company is also looking to invest in opening an office in Florida and an R&D base in New Zealand to continue its work in AI that powers its platform. Lastly, SuperOps wants to move beyond MSPs and target the enterprise sector which might give the startup its first customer from India. And despite the recent emphasis on unit economics and profitability, Arvind has his priorities clear.
And this is a market which has been there for 30-35 years. I would rather want to double down and expand on market share than focus on profitability. Yes, definitely it's important, but I will rather focus on efficiency than profitability. The time will come for profitability, not now.
What superops.ai has going for it is a yet-to-be-tapped MSP market, especially when it comes to innovation and AI. So the newest kid on the SaaS block might only just be getting started. In Chennai, Jude Sanath.
All right. As we wrap up, let's take a look at the first 2 days of the e-commerce festive season. Amazon has witnessed 9.5 crore customer visits, while Flipkart has also seen over 9 crore visits. Shilpa Ranipeta is joining us with details. Shilpa, do you think 2023 could turn out to be a bigger festive season for e-commerce players?
Well, if this data is any indication, the first 48 hours of the online festive sales seem to be very promising, topping expectations from last year. Let me run you through Amazon first and then Flipkart. Amazon's Great Indian Festival started on the 8th of October, which was on Sunday, with Prime Access that happened on Saturday. And in the first 48 hours of the sale, Amazon says that there were over 9.5 crore customer visits, and they saw that the highest ever number of Prime members shopped versus any single day. And they also say that more than 80% of the customers came from non-metro cities, and smartphones seem to have been the hero of the first 2 days. 100 OnePlus smartphones were bought every minute, and OnePlus, Samsung and Apple were the most preferred brands, with Samsung leading the premium smartphone sales. Now, more than one appliance was bought every second, and almost half of them were buying premium appliances. Now, premiumization seems to be the trend here as well, because premium smartwatches, headphones, laptops, tablets, etc. also saw a massive spike in demand. In other consumer durables also, 1 TV per second was bought, and 80% of these offers, Amazon says, came from tier 2 and 3 cities and towns. Remember, this also comes at a time where World Cup is happening, so the demand usually at a time like this for televisions sees a spike. Now, among other categories for them, Amazon Fashion grew 5x, Beauty grew 6x, Fashion Jewelry also grew 2x. So all in all, a huge demand coming in just from the first 48 hours of the sale, and the sale is going to go on for almost 30 days. Now, let me come to Flipkart. Flipkart's Big Billion Days, this is the data from their early access, which was on the 7th of October, and the first day, which was on the 8th of October. Flipkart says that over 9 crore customer visits were seen on the platform, with a 7x spike